In fact, it's relatively common.
All right. Well, good morning. My name is Craig Peliquin, joining you from beautiful White Rock, BC.
And I'm Dennis Wilson, joining you from downtown Vancouver in Yaletown.
And today our topic is one of my favorites, only because I've written a couple of books on it, with your help, Dennis. We're going to talk about how to generate free leads for your real estate business using LinkedIn, and how to also build your brand. So all these things happen at once when you're using LinkedIn. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like a 2-for-1.
It is. So a lot of great stuff for us to get into. So Dennis, why don't we just jump right into it?
Works for me.
All right. Oh, I have to take the host back. Just a second. I can't do that until I'm host again. All righty. I've reclaimed my position to share the PowerPoint. All righty. So Realty Biz Connect, how to generate free real estate leads and build your reputation with LinkedIn. A little bit about us, who we are. Realty Biz Connect is the one touch and done lead generation, forever follow up and convert to a client real estate CRM.
Yeah, and what makes us a little different than everyone else is we actually come complete with all your real estate specific content. So you get over 100 pre-written emails, text and SMS, push notifications, and social media follow-up messages. 10 plus pre-written landing pages and sales funnels, and 15 book covers, landing page headers, LinkedIn, Facebook background images, and everything's customized to your headshots. And we even do coaching on how to get the right kind of headshots to work in the digital world.
There we go. Yes, so it is everything you need customized with your lovely mug on it. Speaking of mugs, Dennis, where are we today?
Today we are in Phoenix having a coffee with our good friend Ben Mack.
There we go.
The solar panel guy.
Hey there, Ben. All right. Now, as we already know that COVID-19 has impacted real estate agents over the past couple of months and business owners alike. We have some very specific COVID-19 combating offers for you at the end of this training to help you through it. We normally charge $27 for our courses, but we've been waiving the fee for the last couple of months to help out real estate professionals during this time.
Isn't that crazy to be saying how it's been going on for a couple of months now?
Yes, it is crazy. So Dennis, this is you up on stage in Barcelona in front of about 1,000 business owners. There were some real estate agents in there as well, I do believe. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, I mean, I started a software company about 25 years ago now, became top in the world, one of the top 5 in the world for direct selling software. Then we morphed into the small business dream area where we started working with small businesses. And this was actually a conference that I was speaking at on sort of the state of small businesses and how sales automation was becoming more and more a critical thing, which is interesting because, of course, back then it was a critical thing to get an edge over your competitors, where now it's become a critical thing to survive.
Right.
So the world has changed. Everyone in the CRM or sales automation business has had a bit of a boost because it's just become the only way to sort of move forward now. So I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent, but certainly more people are considering CRM.
Right. And I spent my first 20 years in the entertainment industry. Worked with a tiny little fast food restaurant with Golden Arches. You might have heard of them. And learned a lot about sales, about marketing with those guys for sure, as well as systems. And systems is what it's all about, Dennis. And we'll be teaching you my LinkedIn system. I've been in direct sales now for the past 25 years. And I found LinkedIn about 8 years ago. And LinkedIn, when I first got my first account up and going, I treated it like we did 25 years ago in networking. How would I want to be approached if I was approaching a real person? But I found that LinkedIn didn't have the sales and marketing automation that I needed to be able to follow up. Once I had more than 20 or 30 or 100, 500 people that were in my LinkedIn, I couldn't remember who I talked to last week, never mind yesterday or last month. So then I went to Dennis and Dennis, we need in your software, I need you to help me create something to do the follow-up for my system. We did that, written a book. We've helped businesses and real estate agents increase their sales, drastically, just using The simple things that we're going to teach you today. And we've also partnered with some real estate professionals to make sure that we're doing things right for you.
Yeah, I mean, we always have real estate agents and real estate brokers in and around us. We bring on guest speakers in the training field so that we're giving you the real estate perspective as well as the sort of CRM outsider perspective, which often is the key to leapfrogging, right? Much like Tiger Woods has 7 coaches and not one of them's as good as golfer as him. Often some outside advice can help you leapfrog your industry.
There you go. So this was a really neat study that you found, Dennis, where real estate agents earning over $100,000 a year invested 6 times as much in technology, twice as many used a CRM, and they were aggressive in using social media when compared to agents earning less than $35,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean, everyone take a screen capture of this, go check out that thing. You will learn more about yourselves than you ever wanted to know. I mean, this almost gets down to, blonde haired or dark haired, which real estate agents sell more. It's crazy. It's a really, really cool infographic. Highly recommend that you go take a look at it. It'll kind of blow your mind as to what's going on in the real estate industry as far as real estate agents and their stats. So this is specific to how well are people doing, how are they doing it, why are they doing it. It's really, really cool.
There you go. So now we're going to talk about LinkedIn lead generation. Just love this topic. It is, as far as we're concerned, the most underutilized free lead generation tool for real estate agents.
Yeah, it actually is interesting because it's more than just building your LinkedIn profile. By building your LinkedIn profile and being slightly active and reaching out and making new connections on a consistent basis, you actually will start to gain higher rankings for your name in Google. So if, for me, it doesn't work because I'm Dennis Wilson and there's a dead beach boy. So he gets the first 16 million. I'm somewhere around 16,200,043 or something. But for people with less famous people with the same name as them that died, you will actually find yourself starting to jump above the other people that are listed in Google with your actual name as a result of an active LinkedIn profile. So you tend to build your reputation as well as hunt for leads and increase your sales when it comes to using LinkedIn properly. So it's really, really cool. It's also cool because it allows you to target high net worth individuals as future prospects. So if you're going to spend your time looking for people, you might as well look for the people that are likely to buy a more expensive house.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And LinkedIn prospecting also will help keep you motivated, Dennis, because you're getting those constant successes as people are accepting your profile, accepting your connection request. They're reaching out to you. You get those little yum-yums every day, little dopamine hits.
Even on Facebook, to put it in perspective, when you put up that random post and normally you get 2 people that like it, and all of a sudden you put up the random one that 27 people like, we can say that it's idiotic. We can say that it's crazy. We can say that it doesn't make sense, but it still makes us feel good. So LinkedIn's just like that. The more you do of it, the more people are starting to accept you, so to speak. And then as things progress, it's this constant sort of, hey, I'm getting somewhere. Hey, I'm getting somewhere. It's the perfect way to start your day with your cup of coffee, actually.
Yeah. Now, to maximize your benefit using LinkedIn, make sure you generate an all-star profile. And we're going to give you some tips today on how to make sure you get an all-star profile.
Yeah, and remember here that you're dealing with an all-star profile. You're dealing with graphical assets. You're dealing with things that work on the internet. So the hard part is your real estate brain's going to be pulling you one direction. We're going to be pulling you the other direction, because it really is about making sure you have a proper online presence. If you're going to go to do online prospecting, you need to have a proper online presence. So your graphics and everything we sort of share with you and how to write your words have to be written in a way that work online. So it's a little bit of a shift, but once you get it right, boy, oh boy, it really sets you free from the point of view of who am I going to sell the next house to, or whose house am I going to sell next?
Right. And so you don't drive yourself crazy like I did when I first started. You're going to need a tool to track, or a system to track your prospects and your followers.
Whether it's a spreadsheet or your calendar or whatever, you can use a lot of the free stuff when you're doing a little bit of it. when you get up to enough volume to where it's really starting to drive you nuts, you'll probably need to look into something that'll cost you some money. So yeah, it's a necessary part of doing it well enough, because it is about volume.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the theory behind what you want to be searching for. Then we're going to go to the practicality. Then I'm going to go into my LinkedIn account and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it.
Yeah, we're going to go prospect for some real estate people.
There we go. So the very first thing, you want to search for the city close to you, obviously where you're working. The great part about LinkedIn is it allows you to search for people geographically. And so you want to find the place to start finding your leads. So you start big and then work your way and narrow down your focus. Then what you want to do is you want to search for high net worth individuals. Why would I want to do that, Dennis?
Well, again, I mean, if you're going to spend 20 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day or an hour a day looking for potential real estate clients, you might as well search for the ones that are looking to buy a $1 or a $2 million house instead of a $200,000 or $300,000 house. It just makes sense, because guess what, folks? The time it takes to find a prospect on LinkedIn is exactly the same, whether you go after someone looking to buy a upscale trailer in a trailer park or looking to buy an upscale Yaletown condominium. So you might as well go hunting in the grounds that are fertile, and you need to work less for more money. So it's really just a simple strategy.
Right. So once you determine your area and your high net worth individuals that you want to look for, and we're going to go into details of who those people are, now you want to search for the neighborhood of those same high net worth connections. So you want to narrow your focus down. So there's downtown Vancouver, and then there's Yaletown. So you can focus it even more.
Yes.
So now you found the right person, Dennis. What do you say?
My name's Dennis Wilson, and I'm the best real estate agent in the world, and I can help you anywhere in Canada. You know what? Heck, I can even help you in Sweden. Man, you don't know how good I am? You just ask me, because I'll tell you. You know what? Ask someone else. They'll probably tell you too, and if not, I'll tell them to tell you, because I am the best of the best of the best, and I work with everybody from like 4-year-olds to 200-year-olds.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a great
Well,
way.
because then I'll get the maximum people, Craig. You see, if I'm good for everyone, then everyone's going to come to me, right?
Well, no, we want to focus our efforts down there. Obviously, Dennis was exaggerating.
I'm no fun. You're no
Simple.
fun today, Craig.
We want to connect with people, and we want to do it in a non-self-serving way at the beginning. I have many connections we'll use Kelowna in this example area, looking for people like you. Would you like to connect here on LinkedIn? I don't mention anything about that on real estate. They're going to see I'm a real estate agent. They're going to see I'm a real estate professional from my LinkedIn profile, because I have an all-star profile that tells them exactly who I am.
Man, you're killing me.
I don't need to do that over. I need to say, hey, let's connect.
So you mean all those people I ignore that do it wrong, there's a reason I ignore them? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
There's a reason. So now you connected with them properly, Dennis. Now what do you say to them?
Now you say, I'm the best real estate agent in Canada, heck, North America, maybe even the whole wide world, and I can help you buy or sell your house.
No, we're not going to do that again, Dennis.
Still not? Still not? Bummer.
We're going to ask them what kind of people they're looking for. Thanks for connecting. What kind of people are you looking for? Remember, everybody's on LinkedIn to make connections. Some are on there to make most business connections, some for their business. Some are there to improve their network of people for referrals, but they're all out there looking for somebody. So why don't you ask them right off the bat? You've got connections. What kind of connections are you looking for? Then you may want to ask them a question like, hey, I have a free home maintenance reminder service my connections love. Would you be interested? Notice I don't say, here it is, and here's a link, and watch this video, and go check this out, and how amazing I am. Look, I have something that some of my connections like. It's free. Home maintenance reminders. Well, that sounds interesting. Would you be interested? And you're waiting for a yes or a no answer. And if they say no, hey, that's okay. You go on to the next person. Thanks for the connection. I appreciate you. Once again, let me know if any of my connections, I can introduce you to any of my connections. if
Of
they
course, with a
spend
proper
less.
CRM, you'll have another message that's going to go out to them in another 10 or 12 days that says, hey, are you looking to rent a home or whatever it may be? And you're going to offer another little lead magnet and another little lead magnet. So just because they're not ready to engage with you now doesn't mean they won't be ready to engage with you at one of your future forever follow-up messages.
Right. And if you really want to rapidly grow, search for real estate investors in your areas, because
Yeah.
now these people are looking to buy multiple homes, multiple properties in a shorter period of time, other than regular home buyers that are going to buy every, 7 to 13 years.
And I recommend that if you're going to get into the real estate investors, make sure you know how to speak to real estate investors so you're not just wasting your time. It's the ultimate way to go, obviously, because of the leverage. But if you don't learn how to speak with them and you try to speak to a real estate investor like you do to a regular person looking to buy or sell the home, you're going to waste a lot of meetings because you're going to get nowhere. So make sure you do look into some specific training. We actually have someone who does that with us, Gord Lemon. And make sure you understand how to speak to and how to figure out how to deal with real estate investors, so you're not just talking to a lot of them and have none of them interested in you, because it's very, very different than the retail market.
There you go. And the best part is once you get active on LinkedIn and grow your connections, you'll start to find people reaching out to you when they're ready.
Absolutely. And that's the neatest part, because that's not even just your connections. That's part of the fact that your connections have grown. So now more people are looking for you on LinkedIn. More people are finding you on Google. More people are finding your landing pages. All of your stuff at this point, all of your digital assets are just starting to get better seated on the internet. So you're sort of starting the race with the LinkedIn stuff, but then it's spreading out to all your other properties that are part of the digital assets that you put in place, so that people can be finding you from multiple angles, all spawned from this little following group that you started on LinkedIn.
Right. Now, we're going to assume that you're using a real estate CRM right now. If you're not using one, we certainly know a good one that you can use. But you do need to have a real estate CRM. I don't care what you're using. What is the best real estate CRM out there, Dennis?
Well, I mean, there's so many out there. It's kind of hard to pick the best, but I mean, ours is the best. Ours is the best. Oh, hang on. That wasn't what you were getting at. The best real estate CRM, quite frankly, is the one you use.
Exactly.
Right? It doesn't really matter what it is, but if you're using it, it's the best. If it's sitting on the shelf and you don't log into it, I guess it's not sitting on the shelf. If it's on your computer in a special hidden folder and you're never using it, you're never opening it, you're scared of it, it's not a good CRM. So either fix your brain so that it becomes a good CRM, or get a CRM that doesn't hurt your brain so much, but get using your CRM. Get using your
You need to
CRM.
track
You need
all
to be
your
using
messages
your CRM.
and remind yourself when to continue a stalled conversation, because believe me, you had a great conversation with somebody and then, 17, 20, 30 conversations happen in the next couple of days. And that conversation has now gone way down to the bottom. You don't even see it and you forget about it.
And it's shocking. Like when this happens to you, it is shocking, because you're literally in a conversation where somebody's ready to buy or engage with you with your services, and literally you find them 3 weeks later and you're just like, how can that happen? This was a super hot prospect. And you drop it, and then you just want to cry and you feel guilty and you promise you'll do better next time. But without a CRM, it's going to happen over and over and over and over and over. The CRM is not so much always to tell you what's the next message to send. In LinkedIn, it's a bit weird because yes, it's telling you the next message that you possibly want to send. But as you go to send it, you now see the history of the conversation with that person that makes you go, oh man, I dropped this guy. Thank goodness my CRM reminded me to send him the next message in 7 days, because now I'm not 3 weeks or a month later to where he's like, oh yeah, that's a great real estate agent, just totally abandons me. So yeah, it's more important than you'd think, but your CRM is almost more of a reminder tool not to drop conversations.
Right. Now, we talked about how important it is to have an all-star profile. Really important before you start going out there and leveraging LinkedIn. You spend some money or spend some time. Most likely it's going to be money, because you're not a graphic artist. You're not a LinkedIn professional. You're not a photographer. But we'll show you some of the ways you can do it on your own. but you need to have a profile. It's an all-star profile, and the information on your banner, on your background image, needs to all be there. Even though you can find your name, your phone number, your email, and your website by clicking a bunch of links that are hidden on LinkedIn, you want it right there front and center. Gord Lemon phone number, and then 10x your sales with real estate investors.
Yeah, your tagline. What do you do? Why are you important? Why are you special? Email address, any websites you have, logos you have. If you want to put your affiliated real estate company, that's possible. Make sure that images you have are relevant to what you do. So if you're selling in the Chilliwack area or the Scarborough area, you need to make sure that the pictures in your image are of that area. Don't go putting, you know, a Malibu mansion if you're selling, you know, lakefront property in Muskoka. You can't get that disconnect. People have to be comfortable that it makes sense to them. Or believe it or not, a simple image that doesn't make sense to the area you say you represent is enough to have a person that doesn't know you decide that you're not the right person.
Exactly. And the average cost to have a personal and business background graphics made is about $299 if you outsource it in, say, the Philippines. If you do it in North America, you could probably 2-3 times that to get it done.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as outsourcing goes, right now, the Philippines is probably the best value. It's not the cheapest. There's cheaper places. But as far as getting good command of the English language, good understanding of sort of the North American way, if you will, it's really, really good value. So it's not the cheapest. It's still very inexpensive compared to North America, but it definitely is the least frustration, best value, fastest service, and really, really nice people in general. So highly recommend outsourcing. If you're going to do outsourcing, you do it in the Philippines right now.
Yeah, and then also make sure that you do something that understands the size parameters, because the background image is different on your personal page, on your business page, on your Facebook, personal and business. And remember, your photo is going to cover part of this image, and you need to make sure you don't have text or pertinent information that is going to get covered by your headshot.
Yeah, and of course, on your personal profile, it covers it, and then on your business profile, it doesn't. And so you do literally need slightly tweaked versions to look professional. Otherwise, it looks like you've taken one and squished it, and the wrong thing's over top of the wrong thing. So there's a little bit more to it than just slapping together something that looks cool.
Right. So let's talk about the headshot and the top 4 converting digital marketing poses. So yes, you are going to pose.
Yes.
You do not need a professional photographer. If you're in your own little home bubble, if you've got somebody that can hold your camera, your smartphone, that will take a good enough photo for what you need for digital marketing purposes.
Yes, and this is not one of the top converting poses, though it's a really cool pose, but we will get into them. And again, remember, this is for digital marketing. Your photographer is going to disagree with every bone in their body that you're on the wrong track. So don't use them. Just get your husband or wife or child, because your child will probably listen to what you tell them. So that's pretty cool.
They probably know how to use the phone better too and take better photos.
Yeah, that's right. And they'll be at a lower angle, so they'll immediately not be one of these, right?
Yeah.
And this is really, really important. Don't use a photo that's 10 years ago or 40 pounds ago. We get it. Everyone has the good side of their face or whatever, and we forget that everyone looking at us sees both sides of our face. When you go do that, you know, airbrushed thing from 30 years ago, and it doesn't look like you anymore, and somebody engages with that, and then you actually show up to a coffee meeting and you're a different person, all that goes on in their head is, huh, so step 1 was a lie. What else are they going to lie to me about? So believe it or not, you can topple the ability to gain new clients simply by playing this silly game we all play with ourselves. The way you look is how you look today to the people you meet today. And they don't know how you looked long ago, and they don't care, right? I got a dimple in my face from when I was a bad kid, and I got stuff that I don't like too. And you know, this is my good side, this is my bad side. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't go down this road. Get the poses, make sure they're new. Men are stupid. So if you're a long-haired lady and you cut your hair, get new photos, or men will literally not find you when you show up for coffee. Well, at least I'm really guilty of that. So maybe I'm putting that on all men, but in general, men are not as good at that sort of stuff as everyone
Well,
else. So,
and we understand you've had your face on on the bus bench, you know, for 5 years, and it costs money to update it. We know these things, but it's almost it's a joke in online dating that
yeah.
you never look like your profile photo. But we don't want to make this a joke in your business.
No, I mean, it's a disconnection. You're asking someone to spend $1 million with your trust, or have you sell something worth $1 million to them,
Right.
and it's starting off with that. So just don't do it. Don't do it. Stop. Don't do it. Reset. Change your mind. You know what? Leave your ads the same, but change your online presence to be current.
There you go. So this is the third highest converting shot, because two guys back to back is not the top. A man and a woman back to back like this is the top. Two women is number 2, and then two guys is number 3. But
And
I
notice
wasn't going to wear a wig.
it's a little bit leaned back, right? You're a little bit twisted. These are all things that are on purpose, right? If you're completely straight standing back to back, it doesn't work. It's about being a bit of an
straight
open
up like
pose.
this. You want to be a little bit more lean back.
Yeah, she's a little too straight up, yet her fingers are better positioned than ours. So your fingers aren't supposed to be splayed. Ours are a little bit open. They're not terrible. Hers are better. Your arms are not under your armpits. They're on top.
You're not hiding your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not crossed like you'd normally cross them. So this is not a comfortable pose. This does not feel natural, but it looks natural. So, and it looks like you're not hiding stuff.
And you know, this is a pose that we just did at a networking event. We had to convince the photographer this is the pose that we wanted.
Yeah, you argued and argued. Oh, no, that's not a good pose. You should be doing it this way and that way. Yeah. Just push the button.
But
Push the button.
it's the highest converting pose that we have. We're in kind of casual type shirts. It was, you know, it just worked. This was the magic pose. It's on our website. It's what we use.
Yeah.
And you know, even though it's not, the black and white shouldn't have been. You should have been black. I should have been white, because you're always the bad cop.
And I'm not even clean shaven. I mean, there's from my perspective, there's everything wrong with this photo. Yet when we split tested against all the other ones we've tried in our suits and all of the other times we tried, it just didn't work as well online. So here we go. We have a not clean shaven, not fully professional business suit photo that works better online than anything else. And so we've just become sort of loyal to the numbers of.
Yeah, we don't have any opinions.
Stop thinking. We split test it, and whichever wins, wins, and we just get over it.
Right. Now this one is called the giver. Notice the hands are out like you're holding a big medicine ball, or one of those big blue yoga balls, and you're handing it to somebody. Your hands do not go like this. This is the beggar. You're not the beggar, you're the giver. You're handing somebody out. Great shot. And you'll notice on Gord's shot in his profile, he was a little turned to an angle in a very similar pose to this. So using the power pose, it doesn't have to be exact head on. Sometimes you want to move a little bit and add a little depth to your shots. Now this one is the thinker. The great thing about the thinker is you get to pull on your chin.
Yeah, you can do that little sort of manual facelift thing, or
there you go.
face stretching to get rid of some fine wrinkles around your mouth.
And you're cupping your elbow. If you've got a wristwatch on, this is a good time to be able to show off a nice wristwatch. Or jewelry, show a little bit of who you are, and you want to do it both ways. But change hands, both sides, turning, and you don't have to worry about wasting film like we did back when we were kids. You can take a lot of photos.
And you take lots of photos, and then the real key to all of this is don't pick the ones you like. Get someone who doesn't know you well to pick the ones they like, and you will instantly have better converting shots than if you pick the ones you like.
And this is the fun one, Dennis, the one that we said we would never do. When we saw this at one of our digital marketing seminars, we laughed and said, never going to happen.
Yeah. And now when we do internal photo shoots where we bring clients over, we actually bring the green screen up and over a table, and we force them all to climb up on the table, and we give them a blank book that we can Photoshop a cover onto.
Yeah. And it's a great pose. If you can get away with it. Not everybody can get away with it.
And I don't know that it's so real estate specific, but it would have its place on maybe your Facebook profile. And maybe, again, it's very good for sort of showing off a book or a pamphlet or a lead magnet.
I think this would be a great one if it was going to be on the bus bench. I mean, lying right there across the bench.
That'd be interesting, eh? That'd be perfect, yeah.
Certainly we get people stopping to look. All right. So LinkedIn done right. Let's get into doing LinkedIn right. These rules that we're going to tell you right now are true for any social media platform. Do not sell.
Uh,
The industry calls it the 80-20 rule. I'd like to say it's a 90-10 rule, probably a 95-5 rule.
yeah, and again, I also think it's a bit platform specific. So on LinkedIn, you might get away with a little bit more selling than you do on Facebook, but yeah, you can't always be in full on sales mode. It turns people off, right? You're supposed to be giving value and giving interesting things. That's what creates the engagement. Once they're interested in you because you've been giving away value and interesting things, then they become more likely to do business with you. But if it's sell, they'll just block you, right? So you'll think you'll have 2,000 followers, and you will, and 1,942 of them will have you blocked. So your stuff's going nowhere. So just be really, really careful. It's easy to turn the tide against you.
Yeah, make friends first, but qualified friends. Remember, we talked about high net worth individuals and why that's important.
Yeah, make friends with people that are likely to use your service, likely to buy or sell $1 million home with you. Don't waste your time making friends with everyone. Go find the right people to make friends with.
Exactly. And become an expert. Find a niche. Dennis was joking in the beginning. What do you say? I can sell, your home. I don't care where you live, anywhere in the Lower Mainland, anywhere in BC, anywhere in Canada, anywhere in North America. You think if you go wide, you can have that big net to bring everybody in. But if you go wide, you're not an expert in anything.
Yeah, and when people are buying a house, they're likely to ask, what are the schools like in the area? Oh, hang on, let me check Google Maps. Not going to help you, right? You really want to define an area that's specific and become the expert there, because then people will actually bring you their friends that are interested in that area. So you go narrow to go wide.
Exactly. And as we're saying throughout the whole thing, you want to look for the right people to connect with. So there's no point in connecting with somebody in Toronto if you're selling real estate in Yaletown, Vancouver.
Exactly. In fact, there's probably no point in connecting with someone in Chilliwack if you're dealing in Yaletown, Vancouver. No different than, I don't know, Mississauga versus the greater Toronto area. Like it just doesn't make any sense to go too far away.
Unless you're connected with somebody in a suburb that you can see is possibly looking to move into the downtown. Exactly. So they're in a business, and a lot of things are changing right now with COVID. So yeah, people are realizing they don't need to live downtown to work downtown anymore. They can live in a burb because we're from home now.
That's right.
More things are changing. So I think you're going to see a really big pattern change into where people are living. I can live in a bigger place in Abbotsford and not have to commute downtown. Or live in my 1-bedroom, 500 square foot apartment.
I don't know, man. I've seen the traffic out there. I think I prefer downtown traffic than Abbotsford traffic.
All right. So now you need to learn how to be respectful in LinkedIn. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves, is when somebody connects with me and then as soon as we're connected, they've done nothing. They haven't read my profile, you can tell, because they do think, oh, tell me about you.
Yeah, well, that's why I have a profile.
Yeah, like, or they say something, I have things in my profile that I put there specifically to see if you read my profile.
That's right.
If you read my profile, I've got little Easter eggs in there. One of the things is I get people that prospect me a lot for multi-level marketing companies. Hey, you're in real estate. You probably get a lot of these people too. And I don't know why it is that, MLMers, or I guess they figure that, real estate agents have time and they're great networkers and they'd be perfect.
Know lots of people, right? Big contact lists.
Right. So I have in there specifically in part of my headline, if you're in network marketing, don't prospect me. I'm happy to, discuss how I can help you with our CRM and do things, but I'm not a prospect. And yet they never read that. They go right into pitching me on how amazing I would be at building their network marketing organization. And I get this novel with all these links and videos, and they go like, they don't even say hi first and ask me anything about how they can help me. It's all about them. Yeah. It doesn't work. You need to have a giving versus getting manner.
Offering something of value is always a good way to make a friend.
Right. I mean, my value is I've written a book. generate 10 fresh qualified real estate leads in 10 minutes. We're going to show you how that's even faster now.
It used to be 10
some of the
minutes.
things that we've done more like 3 minutes. But it's not an overnight success system. It takes time to build your reputation. But the more you do this in 10 minutes a day, every day, it's all about consistency.
Yeah. And same goes for Facebook, whatever. None of it happens automatically. Social media is slow, but once it actually starts working for you, it's incredible. So it's a bit of an investment, which is why it's done a little bit a day over the course of your first year or two. And then all of a sudden it'll really, really kick in. Now, don't worry, you can still also trip across a person that's just ready to go and it's the right timing. But in general, it takes time, no matter what social media platform you're working, to grow it big enough to where it actually starts to have impact.
Right. And as we've already said a couple of times, we're going to look for high net worth individuals. So now we're going to go into the actual what you need to do. You need to search for your keyword and your city name. So you want to find connections that are more likely to buy or sell a 7-figure home versus a 6-figure home. So you want to be looking for a business owner, upper management versus an employee.
Or a highly paid employee,
Yes.
right? So a software developer is a highly paid employee who's mobile. He can move and live, or he or she can move and live wherever they want. So upper management or very high-end employee type of a job.
Right. So these are a list of the top earning professions in 2019. Doctors, dentists, lawyers, CEOs, professional athletes, pilots, architects, marketing managers. So that's your keyword. So right there in LinkedIn, you're going to see a little spot up at the top in your top left corner with a little search box. And we typed dentist Vancouver. So keyword and city, large city. And we had 2,489 results. A lot of dentists in Vancouver, Dennis.
At 10 a day with weekends off. Yeah, it's a while.
So now we narrow our focus to dentist Yaletown, 17 results. Okay, a little bit easier. So you can see how you can start wide and narrow your focus. Bite up, don't bite up more than you can chew. Let's go CEO Vancouver. Oh, only 45,907 results, Dennis.
So at 10 a day, 20 years.
Now, we said CEO Vancouver. You're going to also see that you'll get Vancouver, Washington results out of those, not just Vancouver, Canada. So be careful on your searches. What do we go? CEO Yaletown, 147 results.
Yeah. So, and when you're using Vancouver or Toronto or Seattle or Los Angeles or any really, really huge cities, just know that you're capturing probably the greater Toronto area or the lower mainland of Vancouver or the Seattle region or whatever it's called. So, when you're using the big cities, you're actually usually capturing the whole area. Not necessarily everyone in it, but you're getting a lot more people than are actually in the actual city of that name.
Right. So now you're going to go and you're going to find somebody. So we're going to find a CEO. Look at that. There's Dennis M. Wilson. And he's in Vancouver. Now, the easiest way to do it would be to click that little connect little button and it will send a connection request to Dennis, and that is the wrong thing to do. What you need to do is you need to click on his name and you need to connect with this connect button. It's really important because this means you've looked at his profile and Dennis can see the last people that looked at his profile. And if you're doing a connection request and you haven't looked at his profile, he's probably not going to accept your request. He's going to think you're a robot.
Yes.
It does take a few more steps, but it's the customization that makes this system work. So you click that button, and then you're going to see a pop-up window that you can customize your invitation. LinkedIn members are more likely to accept invitations that include a personal note. So make the note.
That's right.
Don't skip it. Take the time. Make the note. If you have a CRM.
That's right. It should be as simple as a cut and paste.
It could be a copy and paste. So, hello, Dennis. I am working on building my connections in Yaletown. I work with many CEOs in the area. I believe we might be able to help each other here on LinkedIn. Notice I'm using things like Yaletown because I know he's in Yaletown, and CEOs because I know he's a CEO. So I'm making this look as not generic as possible, but not, you know, but you also got to take your time into consideration. You're not writing a novel here. You only get 300 characters. That's it. So once I've done the note, I click done, and I send that message out to Dennis, and that's my connection request. And you want to do 10 of those a day, every single day, including weekends. That would give you 300 a month. And of the 300 a month that you send out a connection request to, about 75 are going to respond to your connection request. And responses are time sensitive. This is the key. You're going to get responses in two ways. Immediately when somebody accepts your connection request, you're going to get an email, and you're going to get a push notification if you've downloaded the LinkedIn app. So download the LinkedIn app. Really important. Have it, because the faster that you respond to somebody that connects with you, the more likely you're going to make a meaningful connection. If you do it within 24 hours is the goal. Within hours is better. Within minutes is best. So getting that notification to your phone that somebody has accepted your connection and being able to follow up immediately, they could still be on your profile when you message them.
Yeah. At the very least, they're on their phone and they have time to talk to you.
So someone accepted your connection. Dennis M. Wilson, rapid sales growth expert, accepted my connection. I got a push notification. This is right from the app I'm showing you on my phone. And you're going to see how long ago this person accepted your connection. So don't rely on email. You need to have the app to see what is happening. Now, you're going to see here on the email, I can immediately go from the email I get from LinkedIn, and I can go and send Dennis a message. So he accepted my connection at 7 o'clock. So the faster, and that's 7 o'clock at night. Notice a lot of people will accept connections in the evening, outside of business hours. When they get home, they put it up. They got to, and they may have even seen it earlier, but they don't do their connections until after business hours.
And here's a pro tip. If your connection gets answered at 3 in the morning, 99% certainty you're dealing with a PA, not the real person. So that target goes down in value because they're probably not ever seeing your stuff.
There
So
you go.
wouldn't say you stop communicating, well, just know. Anyone that replies back to you at 3 in the morning, it's not because they're still up. It's because the Philippines or India or wherever their PA lives is still up.
Yeah. So now you want to check out their profile. You can do it from the email by clicking right there. It'll go into LinkedIn. You can see who Dennis is. But they also have this really cool thing. You can send them a personal note right with one click from the email you get sent from LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah, it gets easy. Craig.
It's automatic, Dennis. You are direct.
It's automatic. Just push the button. It's a dream.
It's already there. It's populated. Look, it already says it went right into the messaging. And it says, Dennis M., thanks for connecting. Hope you're doing well. All I have to do is click send.
How did it know that all my friends refer to me as Dennis M. instead of Dennis, Craig?
Yeah. So, no, this is not the right way to do it. It's easy, but it's wrong. So if you were following along thinking we actually meant to do that, this generic message by LinkedIn is too generic. People know them. They know you didn't spend any effort. The macros are wrong. It went Dennis M. because it automatically filled in his initial, which it never would have done. If you went and did this personally, you would not go, hi, Dennis M. You know, I know people that also, when they do their LinkedIn profiles on that, do all caps or all lowercase on their names to see if it's a robot. You know, if I do that with a lowercase d, and you know, or all uppercase, I know somebody's.
I know that it's not a human. Yeah. So fix your data, right? Yeah. If your data is not right, fix your data, because these things create disengagement in the online world.
Just
in the online world,
I know
they're not looking for a reason to engage with you. They're looking for a reason to toss you to the side.
Yeah. And this also doesn't allow you semi-automated follow-up if you're using a good CRM that can do this for you. So a better message would be, Dennis, thanks for accepting my connection request. If you had looked at my profile, you'll see I've had success helping people in your area buy and sell their homes. Would you be interested in getting a free subscription to my home maintenance tips newsletter.
Yeah, and the beauty of this is if they don't own their own home, they're likely to reply about, oh man, thanks so much, but I actually don't own my own home. Haha, excellent, valuable piece of data. So if a lot of your communications are leading to an answer to a question that collects some data and you start to track that in your CRM, you'll very quickly find you start to have a very powerful CRM because you're going to know that they're not a homeowner or they are a homeowner. And the more you use your lead magnets to continue to flesh out where they're at, it's what ultimately brings them over time to becoming your client, because you know enough about them that you can market directly to them instead of continuing to market in general to everyone.
Exactly. So you need to show common ground or you're going to get zero results. Or worse, be deemed a spammer, lose your account, not be able to connect with people unless you have their email. So make qualified friends first. Then, as soon as I send that message out to Dennis, I am waiting for a response. So in this case, I answered his message within 3 hours. So 7 p.m. is when he accepted my connection. Just after 10 p.m. is when I sent him a message. Now, obviously, we did these messages for the purpose of this webinar, but if it was real, that's too long. It's within the 24-hour time zone. It's within our time zone, 10 o'clock. So, hey, this is when I typically answer messages on LinkedIn. If that was 3 o'clock in the morning, that would have been my personal assistant answering the message from our automated follow-up. So keep these in mind. And then Dennis says, yes, thanks for the offer. I would like to receive your tips. Dennis, notice he did it 2 minutes later. Now, why did I know Dennis was online? Because this little green button at the top showed that Dennis was active now on LinkedIn. So you can see with the little green that they're live, online, and able to talk. And that's why you want to have LinkedIn on your phone and on your computer. And once you have started a dialogue with somebody in LinkedIn, now they're finally a prospect.
Yeah. And once you have a bit of back and forth going on, you know that there's some engagement, and then you want to make sure that that person gets a little bit higher up your list in your CRM. Maybe they go from a category 4 to a category 2, but you want to have an ascension method within your CRM to know that this person is now more value, because we've actually had a bit of a conversation, which of course is recorded forever in Facebook. So when you reach out in 5 months and say, hey man, I'm just checking in on you, they're going to go back and they're going to see that you chatted 5 months ago, and they're going to pretend to be as excited about you calling them back as they didn't call you back. So it really, really works well. If you sort of make sure you're categorizing the people that never respond differently than the people who do respond. It's just that simple. They responded, they took the time, you had a little back and forth. They're now 10 times more valuable than the person that's never responded.
Yeah. Now the little blue number 1 beside Dennis's message means that it's a new message you haven't read yet. And he sent 1 message. If it was a 2, that means he sent you 2 messages. So always searching. You can search your messages for all your unread messages. So it's an easy way to find who's having a conversation with you, because those are your premium leads. Who is sending you messages? So you got to follow up. So add them to a follow-up system so you don't forget who they are. It could be a spreadsheet. It could be a CRM, or you could actually use Realty Biz Connect, powered by Small Business Dream, which we specifically built for LinkedIn prospecting.
Yeah.
So why don't we show what that looks like, Dennis?
Yeah, let's go show some actual LinkedIn prospecting so people see just how easy it is.
I think that's
easy enough that you can recruit your children to do it for you.
There you go.
You can pay them in donuts.
Now, I'm just going to open up my LinkedIn account.
1 M&M per lead usually will suffice for the right age of child.
There we go. And I'm going to open up a Small Business Dream account. I know I'm not sharing my screen yet because I didn't actually do that yet, Dennis. Okay, I'm in my LinkedIn, and then we're going to show everybody exactly how this works. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen now, and I'm going to share my LinkedIn. Dun, da, da, da. That should be seeing my LinkedIn account now.
Yes.
There it is. Awesome. Okay. And that is Small Biz Dream. I'm going to quickly log into Small Biz Dream. So you can see how the two things convert together. So you want to have them on different tabs. Have your LinkedIn on one tab and have your CRM on the other tab so that you can go and start searching. So let's just do some searches first, Dennis, to show people how it works. So we were doing, let's do Kelowna.
And if you have two monitors, put them on separate monitors and you will be even faster, about 20% more fast.
And let's do dentist. Look into that, dentist. Let's try that one. I got to spell dentist right. That would help. So Kelowna dentist, 120 results of dentists in Kelowna. Okay. Let's do doctor and Kelowna. Okay, there we go. Now, right now, probably not a good time during COVID to be prospecting doctors. They are a little busy right now. 1,300 results. If we go CEO, Kelowna, there we go. 2,426 results. So as we're narrowing it down, find these the place that you're looking for, and you're going to see the results. Now, how do we go and connect with somebody? Well, you're going to have a CRM. Now, in our CRM, we built it specifically for LinkedIn prospecting. So I'm going to do it slowly the first time just to show you how it all works. And then I'm going to set it up to go real fast. Okay, so Kelowna, let's go and pull up this person here. Here is Kylan Libby. He is CEO at HappyPad in Kelowna. Well, fantastic. We need to highlight his name. Clicking his name 3 times is the easiest way to highlight the name. Control C is copy. Then I go into my CRM and I paste his full name. Now we built it to choose a gender, and as soon as you do anything, it'll break up the first name and the last name into the macros for you. That makes it really neat. Now I've created a LinkedIn Pre-Connect CEO Kelowna series. Imagine that, Dennis. So
Wow.
I know I'm already going to be connecting with CEOs, and I created the message ahead of time. Okay?
I think you set this up.
You think so. Now, if you have multiple users on your system, you can actually have it set up with multiple users. You have a place to add notes. I don't care at this point about their phone number, their email, or anything. But what I do want to do is I want to set tags. So I'm connecting on LinkedIn, and I am going to set some default tags here. They're in BC. They're a CEO. Okay. And I think I have Kelowna. So I now have preset these tags, and I can make them the default tags in my series. So now every time I'm going to go follow up right now, and I'm going to go and connect with a few CEOs in Kelowna, I've now set up my CRM to rapid fire do this. So all I do is click quick add and watch what happens. A little bit of magic's going to happen here. It's going to now put them into my CRM.
Yeah. And so your categories are important because your categories long-term are the ways you can sift and sort your data. So you can do email specific to people in Kelowna because you tag them as Kelowna without having to go and record their address. You can do specific to CEOs because you've tagged them as CEOs. So it's super important, regardless of the CRM you're using, to learn how to use tags and make sure you're appropriately tagging people when you enter them into your system. Because the more finite you can get with your follow-ups and the more specific you can get with follow-ups, the more real estate you will sell. It's just a rule. It's how it is.
Right. So now all I have to do is take action, and all the effort has been done. In the take action, a new window pops up. Hello, Kylan. His name has been put in there. Notice it's a macro. I have many connections in the Kelowna area looking for people like you. Would you like to connect here on LinkedIn? And my name. I click the copy button. I go back to LinkedIn. I want to connect with this person. I add a note. I paste the note. I send the invitation, and then I tell my system I have sent the invitation. That's it. Notice it's now gone right back to add a new contact. Oh my goodness. Now, here's a secret. Do not do a search again. If you are on a free LinkedIn account, you are limited to the amount of times you can search. So click the back button once so I can go back and see my list of 2,426 results, and I can go to the next person. So now I'm going to show you rapid fire. Dennis, why don't we see how many people I can connect with? Dennis, I'm not going to say anything. You can do the voiceover. Right. You can do the play-by-play. I'm going to see how many people I can connect with in 3 minutes using this system.
All right.
Ready, Dennis? You tell me when
I'm ready. I'm ready. Ready, set, go. Here we go. The timer's on, and here's Craig. He's reached out to his first person. He's triple-clicked the name. As he triple-clicks the name, he goes back to Small Business Stream. He pastes it in. He clicks mail. It automatically splits first name and last name, and it's picked his categories. It's done all of the things that are necessary, and he simply hits quick add, which brings up the task manager where he can see the message already populated with the appropriate information in it. And he's able to go faster than I can give the play-by-play. So we now have one connection in, and I think now we have two connections in. Randy Shear, we're going to skip him. We're going down to Doug Rankmore, and a triple click, and we pop back over, a paste, a mail, and we hit quick add, which brings up the take action screen. So we're now at 46 seconds, and we have 2 new people in the system. And we now have a third person coming up. Actually, that's not fair because the first one was done as the example. So we now have 2 full people in the system in 1 minute. Oh my goodness, in 10 minutes, we are going to have 20 people in the system. And it usually picks up a little speed. And actually, when you're brand new at this, it goes faster because you don't have to be as selective because you haven't already connected with a bunch of people at the top of the list. And again, the triple click is the key. As you paste it, it breaks it in half. It does all the work for you. All you have to do is quick add because it's remembered all of the things that matter. And then it'll bring up the take action screen. Craig's stuttering a bit on the internet connection, but that's okay. We're going to pick up some time. Here we go. And it's a simple copy button, and then it's a simple paste and a send invitation. And we now have a third person in the system.
How many minutes?
Now at 1 minute and 43 seconds. And we're going to find the next person. And here we're going to have a bit of a challenge because we have an interesting name. It's going to collect a little bit more details than he wants. So he's going to have to slow down. Look at this, folks. This is costing Craig an extra second and a half. So in rapid fire, would you bother? It's hard to say. Probably not. I skip everyone that isn't simple because there's like millions of them. So there's no scarcity. So here we go. We're at 2 minutes and 11 seconds. We have 4 connection requests already sent out. I've barely even picked up my coffee and had a sip. And we're carrying on. We're getting close to that 3-minute mark. We're at 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Where are we going to get to? Well, we're still searching. Oh, look at that. Now we're slowing down because we have to go to the next page. Can you believe it? We've used up the entire first page. Holy smokes. How good is this? And now we're going to go and we're going to drop Tanya in. Tanya is a female. Splits the name. Quick add. Done. In. Now we're going to send her that LinkedIn Connects message. We've got 11 seconds left. Can we get there? If Craig's internet connection will let him get there, we can get there. We're 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Yes, I think we're going to just get there. Oh, look at that. The time ran out. It took them 3 minutes and 4 seconds to complete the job due to a spotty internet. Oh my goodness.
Run Zoom. Big.
So there you can see it's really that simple. It's really that mindless. Your CRM probably isn't as efficient as that, but chances are it can still help you an awful lot in doing the LinkedIn prospecting with more effectiveness than sort of completely manually trying to track it all. But yeah, there's 3 minutes, 4 contacts, 5 contacts. I mean, you should easily be able to get your 10 contacts in before your coffee even gets halfway gone or even slowly loses its warmth. So
yeah,
and you
efficient. Personal assistant to do this system for you. It's really easy.
Children,
kids right now that are home during COVID, not
next door neighbors' children
doing it for you.
Yeah, you know, you could probably train a smart parrot. Yeah,
it's pretty simple. But what's exciting about it is even when we do these demonstrations, those are live. That's live data. I've had conversations with at least a half a dozen people that I've connected with just in the demonstrations on teaching this at Realty Biz Connect and had really good conversations with people in Kelowna.
In Kelowna, yeah, from White Rock.
Yeah, so it works. Now, let's go back to what we were talking about. Now, we know it sounds hard. So we just showed you the inside of the tool as to how it works and how simple it can be when you combine LinkedIn with a proper CRM that was built for networking, and you specifically put these functions in to use my system in LinkedIn.
Yeah, we just simply reworked the add a contact engine because it didn't do anything negative for regular people. So if you're adding a normal contact and you're not using LinkedIn, all of those features still help you do that more efficiently as well. So all we did was tweak some stuff to really make it efficient. Like the breaking the name in half is huge for any data entry. It's huge, right? Even if you're typing by hand, you type the whole name and you hit tab and boom, it's broken into 2 names instead of having to try to get it into 2 different fields. It was all about the microsecond. If we could shave off a second or a half a second or a third of a second, and we knew that our personal, I mean, we did a lot of it out of our own selfishness, right? Our personal assistants spend 8 hours a day doing this kind of stuff, reaching out for our businesses constantly. We do it for real estate agents. So anytime we could save a third of a second on something that gets done 200 times a day, we were just saving ourselves money on the services that we resell to real estate agents and other business clients. So it was a bit selfish in how it came about, but it's super efficient as a result.
Yeah, just having it set so it was automatically went to the right follow-up message. It automatically saved all the tags, because we noticed that when we were prospecting, we do a group of prospects at once. It all had the same tags in the same place. So instead of having to go click, click, click every time, tap, 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 and hit all the different tags they were on, we set it as a default. Just made sense.
And every time we changed something, someone came up with something else. So our team would just constantly give us feedback on, if you just did this, I could save
this here.
Yeah. They learned that the key to capturing our attention was we can save a mouse click. Oh.
Yeah. And that's what Realty Biz Connect is. It's the one touch and done lead generation, forever follow up, and convert to a client real estate CRM. Yeah. And as we said at the beginning, we include creating all your required digital assets so you don't have to. So we're going to update your LinkedIn profile, make sure that it looks professional, make sure it's got the right power pose, the right colors, the right photos, the right message, all your information. Notice in both of these, everything is justified a little bit to the right. That bottom left corner is where the headshot goes. So it always will cover that, so we don't have anything pertinent in there. We're going to update your Facebook profile. So they're different depending on whether it is your personal or your business. And we know all the parameters that need to be done. We do them both, and we make them look congruent. And we're going to make your lead generators. They're already done. These are wonderful little guides that look like books that have your face, your name, your logo, your colors, all branded to you.
Yeah, and if you were going to sub these out and go get these all done and get the graphics done and get the copywriting all done, you'd probably put out about $2,175 or $272 each. The good part is you can do them yourselves, right? It just does a little bit of research, a little bit of copywriting. You do one a month. At the end of the year, you have 12 of them, and you're set to go. So whether you're buying a system that includes them or doing them yourself, they're all very possible to do on your own.
We also include an open house module, which has the ability to do virtual open houses as well, and no touch sign in.
Contactless sign in. You just scan a QR code, or the person coming scans the QR code, fills in the onboarding process themselves, and then comes on in. So yeah, it's all, interesting enough, this was all built pre-COVID, but it turns out that a whole bunch of the techniques that are here just happen to be extremely COVID friendly too. So a bit of a bonus for you.
There you go. And we talked about this several times about, using in LinkedIn your home maintenance reminders. Well, we've got it all built for you, so you don't have to go and write them all. And there is basically an unlimited year's supply of It just goes on and on and on for years. Home
Yeah,
maintenance reminders. It's
it's a
fantastic.
forever follow-up because it does talk about seasonal stuff, and seasonal stuff gets repeated every year. So this is a thing that once you've dropped them into this, it'll follow up basically forever until they're ready to come and engage you because they're ready to buy or sell their home. And because you're the only one that's been super helpful and helping them understand all of the things they need to understand, they're most likely going to pick you over a new person that knocks on their door.
Yeah. We also help you edit your private tour videos. Really
Yeah.
important right now during COVID, where you want to do a lot that you can online and share what the house looks like, and you can't have a whole bunch of people in an open house. A private tour video that you shoot yourself with from your phone, and you go in and shoot it. Yes, sideways. Yes, exactly.
Never ever take a picture or a video on your iPhone like this that you plan to use on social media. Always like this. Pro tip, always like this. You have way more options. Your videos will be better. Everything will work with YouTube and everything better. But yes, you definitely want to start doing private tour videos. They're not hard. They're you talking to the camera, and then they're you showing off the property, talking to the camera, showing off the property. You're always going to use your name 3 times, the address 3 times, said slowly, because YouTube will actually pick up on that, transcribe it, and use it as part of the Google rankings. So you really want to be doing these, and we actually will help you out with one of them a month for 12 months, editing, putting on your bumpers, taking out your obvious mistakes, and also helping you write the words, which is your introduction, your subject, your content, and fixing up your YouTube captions. So we take all of that and we sort of do all the stuff that most people don't know they need to do, but it's actually the key to really getting a following on YouTube with your YouTube private tour videos.
There you go. And we do we go into more details in some of our other trainings on how to go in and do your YouTube and all that. Today was LinkedIn, but you really want to get into some of our subsequent trainings on. I think we almost could do a whole one just on making.
I'm tempted to add that because, yeah, we could spend a whole hour teaching the ins and outs of a private tour video, and it's not what you think. It's not heavy. You don't need a drone flying across False Creek. You don't need any of that. You just need you on camera, holding your camera the right way, making it interesting, saying the right things, and showing off the property.
Right, which leads to having 12 feature page listings. So you've got a place to be able, once you've done your video, these are fantastic. They come with a QR code. We're going to talk about how important a QR code can be, especially now when we need to have touchless contact, right? We have no contact when they're entering their stuff. This allows them to do everything just from pointing their camera to a QR code.
Yeah, and your feature page listings are the key to being a little bit different than all the standard MLS stuff that everyone else is saying. You can have a personalized description of what the property is that actually has some feeling instead of whoever writes it for the MLS. I don't know, maybe a robot writes it for the MLS because they're usually completely uninspiring. But yeah, this becomes your place to use so that you don't make this mistake. So this was a sign at Cambie Street in downtown Vancouver. The sign was pointing across Cambie Street, which is a 6-lane road, which is always packed with cars. And the direction it was pointing probably has no less than 5,000 condominiums within eyesight. So not an overly interesting thing or something that makes a whole lot of sense unless you were already looking for the open house. You wouldn't trip across this sign and get down on your knees. I know, because I stood there and watched probably 500 people walk by it in 10 minutes. Not one person paid any attention to it. Not one person got down on their hands and knees and squinted to see it. Not one person interacted with it in any way, shape, or form. And that's because there's nothing there. And even if you did, I typed in that great Remax address and I came up to a completely generic page that said nothing about that property, barely said anything about John Smith. So I was instantly confused. So instead, what you should do is you should have your QR code on there that's much bigger so it's easy to see, so a person can just point their phone at it. And now, regardless of how bad their eyesight is, they're not embarrassed. They don't even need to stand by the sign anymore. They can move over where they're comfortable to investigate your feature listing page, which will have your walkthrough video on it. And if you've done it right, or you've done it through us, that's going to be captioned. So they don't even need their headphones. They don't need to turn their sound on. They can just sit there and read through what you're talking about to then decide that they're interested. When then they could then click the little button that brings it up on Google Maps and walks them right to your doorstep. And that little button that they could click, which will just pop open your phone number and they can call to see if you're still there. Obviously you should be, you got your sign out. But all of that happens now from your feature page that comes from your QR code, which is no longer a challenge to get people to do because QR codes can be read from quite far away. Everything just becomes more comfortable.
It does. And with our system, you obviously get our CRM, the one touch and done lead generation, forever follow up and convert to a client.
Yeah, and
Real
CRMs
estate.
out there go anywhere from $20 a month to $500 a month, depending on the features. So ours is very full featured and comes with all the assets. So you're saving money.
Right. We're also going to give you all our lead generation strategies, the walk and talk forever follow up. You're going to get the LinkedIn lead generation engine, the home tips reminders, the joint venture and referrals, as well as the personal networking sales funnel. All this built for you, customized with your brand.
That's right.
And your brand is you.
That's right.
You also
get a private success group. This is where real estate agents help real estate agents, as well as the companies there to help any questions. So this is more about the business side of things. So it's not where we teach you the details, but the monthly Realty Biz Connect Maximization webinars are where we actually get into everybody's problems live and we diagnose what you want to do. We show off to everyone how to do it. So if they had the same idea, they could do it. And of course, if you don't want other people to know what you're doing, then don't ask the question on one of these because we're going to teach everyone to do it at once. But everything is there to help you be successful with the system. And we throw in guest real estate sales trainers to make sure that you're always up to speed on the things not related to CRM.
Yeah, we got a neat one coming up end of this month on how to read microfacial expressions.
Yeah, what do they mean? Is that person really as interested as their face is telling you they're not?
Kind of neat, kind of like that TV series Lie to Me, where they could look at your face and know whether you were lying, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, whether you're engaged, whether you're spaced out, whether you're really listening. Yeah, it's quite cool.
A good friend of ours from Europe is a renowned expert in that field, and she is going to share her training with us.
You also get access to our Realty Biz Connect app, which allows you to brand yourself and put your videos and information and your home tips and your properties and if you have a JV and a joint venture referral program and subscribe to your newsletters, everything all in one place. It's the ultimate tool to keep you top of mind.
Exactly.
If you were to go and buy all this yourself and go outsource it and search it all or create it all, if you did it yourself, you could do it for free. You literally could, if you had time, you could go build all these assets on your own. If you went and outsourced it in the Philippines, you're looking at just over $10,000. If you did that in North America, probably closer to $30,000 to build this all.
It's very common to pay $300 US for one email to be copywritten for you.
Right. If you look at the monthly costs associated with Realty Biz Connect, if you went and outsourced it all, you're looking at about $1,200 a month for all the things that we give you. There's many things that Realty Biz Connect has that you're already paying another provider to give you that you no longer need to pay.
Yeah.
Normally we charge $1,499 to set
not
up.
$10,523. No, it's $35,000 because it's a rainy day in Vancouver, and that makes me upset.
But we only charge $14.99 all up and $8.99 a month, Dennis. Normal. But we have a special for you today. $9.98 setup and $4.99 a month for the first year. Now, when you first came in, we said if you stay to the end, we have some special offers for you as well. Some cool freebies. So there's a bonus.
Scan credits. So you get to pull out that shoebox of the corners of bits of paper and napkins that you've been collecting for the last year with people's name and phone numbers on that you've never followed up with. And you can simply take a picture of them through the app and it'll go off to our live people who will do their very best to decipher your poor handwriting. So if it's really poor, we promise we will not transcribe it correctly, but we will send it back to you completely wrong.
If you got business cards,
if it's business cards, they'll be perfect. And if your handwriting's legible, we don't normally allow scraps of paper, but for this bonus, we are. So you get us to do 100 of your people, which will bring them into your CRM and automatically start following up with them.
Right. And if you have an existing CRM or other digital source, we will import your data for you.
Yep.
This one's cool. Did you like what I did on LinkedIn? Would you like our guys to do that for you? You don't have to. So a prospecting credit is basically a click. So one action. So me reaching out to those 4 people would be 4 LinkedIn credits.
So not so much a click, but an action.
Yeah,
So that, you know, whatever it is to
it
get a
took more than a
LinkedIn
click. It
connection
wasn't very many, but yes, it was.
or a follow-up or whatever it may be. So an outbound connection or a follow-up, all would use 1 credit.
Yeah. So it's a value of $125. That's a bonus. That's a great way to get started on LinkedIn and get somebody to start generating you some leads.
Bonus number 4 is a review of your existing drip campaigns. The reason we say up to 25 emails is we're probably going to tell you to throw 11 of them in the garbage because they're working against you instead of for you. It's a value of $250, and we'll just sort of take a look at what you're doing and help make some tweaks to it before we import them into our system for you.
Right. So if you buy today, you're going to get all $725 worth of bonuses. And we're going to break up the $998 setup fee into 2 payments of $499, $499 now, and $499 when all your digital assets are completed, which takes about a month.
Yeah. It comes down to how fast are you at getting your pictures that we need done with our assistants.
Right. And right now we are waiving the monthly fee of $499 a month until 30 days after lockdown is ended. So right now we know you can't do business as usual. And until you can do business as usual or in the new usual where you're able to do your open houses and get out there and start selling properly again, we will not be charging the $499. And if you just want to do what we showed you today on LinkedIn, we have a Just the Basics package, which is the basic real estate CRM, but we don't build all your content. But you do get the LinkedIn prospecting engine. And it's just $49 a month, and you can upgrade it any time so that you can now start building your leads and connections during lockdown to ensure your fastest recovery.
And we'll even accrue the $49 a month towards your $499. So when you're ready to upgrade, you get credit for however many months you paid the $49.
So if you want to get it now, questions, you can send us an email, contact@realtybizconnect.com. You can call or text 604-900-2384. But the easiest way is to go right to smallbizdream.com/realtybizconnect. Click the Buy Now button and choose either the $499 or the $49 a month.
Very easy. So that's what we had for you today on how to generate qualified leads on LinkedIn for free, literally with 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 3 minutes a day, just depends on how many contacts you're looking to do. And yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody get back to work and start having more success empowered by some new techniques and some new ways of prospecting that can fit into even the busiest of days.
Thank you all for joining us, everybody, on your Tuesday morning. We do have other things you could do. Make sure that you have opted in to receive our emails so that we can email you the accreditation link so you get your PDP hours. My name is Craig Bellaguen.
And I'm Dennis Wilson.
We are Realty Biz Connect. Have yourselves a fabulous week. Bye for now.
For now.